Borussia Dortmund need 3 more points. They're a game away from ending Bayern's 10-year dominance in the Bundesliga. Surely this will be their year. Those were the words spoken for much of last week as the world witnessed Leipzig utterly dismantle Bayern München with just a game to go in the Bundesliga title race. Shortly after that, Borussia Dortmund themselves delivered a 3-0 drubbing to Augsburg. It put them in pole position to take the title this weekend. And yet, almost inevitably, here we are. So today, we're going to take a look at what went so wrong for Dortmund, or perhaps what went so right for Bayern that has allowed them to be crowned Deutscher Meister for the 11th time running. But before we do, please don't forget to subscribe.
Do it.
In the aftermath of that defeat to Leipzig, if you had told me that this weekend Bayern Munich would be celebrating their 11th straight title in a row, I would not have believed you. Perhaps the fan in me would have trusted that maybe, just maybe, a miracle could be pulled out of the bag, but it really didn't look likely for Thomas Tuchel's men. With the backing of a full Signal Iduna Park, it looked an impossible task for Dortmund to finally bottle the league, considering they were playing somewhere where they had not suffered defeat in their last 10 games. And yet, within 15 minutes, Der Karnevalsverein had done something completely impossible. They'd taken the lead. Couple that with moments later a heartbreaking penalty miss from Sebastian Haller, and it genuinely looked as though Dortmund's title hopes were falling apart. This was compounded in the 24th minute when Mainz ended up 2-0 to the good. To make matters worse for Dortmund, those goals bookended an absolute wonder strike from Kingsley Coman, who took it from the edge of the box and buried it in the top corner of the goal. This set Bayern well on their way and meant that Borussia Dortmund now needed to win the match. The fact that it took Borussia Dortmund until nearly 20 minutes from time to hit back and make it 2-1 is perhaps one of the things that they will look at as a defining factor in this game. If they had scored earlier, perhaps the comeback would have really been on. Yet, 9 minutes from time, it would be Köln who would convert their penalty kick to give Borussia Dortmund, who would eventually make it 2-2 before the end of the game against Mainz, some genuine hope that this would in fact be their year. However, Die Rekordmeister had one final trick up their sleeve. As Leroy Sané's attempt to turn the ball into Köln's goal was met with an audacious save, a scuffle ended up with the ball at the feet of Jamal Musiala, who finished with aplomb in the 89th minute to hand Bayern back control of the title race. And after 5 more nerve-wracking minutes of determined defending, Bayern would eventually hang on to be crowned German champions, breaking the hearts of Borussia Dortmund in the process. And of course, for a lot of us, it did end up with another correct prediction for this year's Bundesliga season. Bayern are simply inevitable in the league. But what do you think? Was this the last chance in years that Borussia Dortmund will get, or will they be back once again to challenge for the Bundesliga in the next season? Let me know in the comments down below. As this match also spelled the end of both Timo Horn and Jonas Hector's time at FC Köln, I'd like to point out and recognise just how important they have been to this wonderful club. But with that being said, see you next time. Oh, and a special thank you to the vast amount of people who have subscribed to this channel recently. It really does mean the world to me, almost as much as this Bundesliga title. If you would like to consider doing so, please remember that it's utterly free and you can change your mind at any time. Thanks, guys.